Face front, true believers. This is Modular Media's No Prize Podcast. I'm your host, the one, the only, the Boingo Rider, and with me, as always, in the bullpen.
Representing the distinguished competition, the Vacuuminator is here.
Hey yo, what?
Yo.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. Like, we're doing this. We're just sitting here. We're gonna be talking about two episodes of Justice League. We're gonna be talking about comic book news, and we're gonna be talking about comic books.
Oh my god! Wow! Wow! Look at this! Look at us!
This has never happened before. This has never happened before.
This is revolutionary.
Brand new.
This is groundbreaking content for YouTube.com right here.
Groundbreaking. Two white men sitting and bitching and moaning about comic books. Who would have thought?
Oh my god, we're defining a generation here.
We are generational defining talent.
We're trendsetters.
We're generational defining talent that has not been seen since Kevin Smith.
Mm-hmm. We're the new guys. We're the chosen ones. We're gonna save the industry with our hot takes.
The hottest takes. Hello, Buster.
Hi,
hello,
Nightmare.
Should we end the bit? Should we?
I didn't even realize that was a bit. I thought we were just genuinely bigging ourselves up.
Hello, welcome. We got a fucking podcast for you. It's about comic books. It's the 86 one.
The New Funny White Boys genuinely sounds like a title for a 90s Nickelodeon show.
Yeah. So, hey, guess what we watched this week?
Was it Justice League?
It will be Justice League when the slide works. There we go. Justice League.
Hey.
Well,
we did it. We did it. We did the thing we said we were going to do.
We did the thing that we've been planning.
That we've been consistently doing.
Yeah.
That is just the thing we do when there's no new MCU content to talk about.
We just talk about a cartoon. They did go hard on this one specific pose.
I mean, it's a Timverse show. What do you expect? Bruce Timm, and Paul Dini invented being horny on Maine.
Goddamn, imagine if Bruce Timm and Paul Dini were, like, anime producers. And they could get away with everything.
It would all be so much worse.
Real quick, though, we can say, this episode, while this one frame is slightly horny, this episode's not horny.
No, this is a genuinely, like, respectful and interesting introductory Wonder Woman story for the Bruce Timm DC Universe.
Vac's horrified expression is priceless.
Every expression I make is priceless. You can't afford me.
I mean, look at this face. Look at this mug. Look at that mug. That's a face for radio.
I should have known you were going to drop that one.
No, I'd say if you want to understand Wonder Woman at her barest element, this is what you do.
Yeah.
Fuck these two episodes. This is a great origin. It's not even an origin. It's just more of like
It's a follow up to the origin bits we got in the pilot.
Yeah. As soon as the picture popped up, what were we talking about? Hello, Bruce Timm. How are you? I didn't expect to see you in the chat.
Oh my god, Bruce Timm, longtime Boingo Rider stream watcher.
We're talking about the new episodes of Justice League, and this one's very simple. It's just shit goes down Themyscira. Wonder Woman has to fix it. It's a very Wonder Woman focused storyline.
Yeah, the plot is literally Superman goes like, hey, maybe you should try and fix things with your mom. And Wonder Woman is just like, oh, shit, I never thought about that. And then she gets there and everything's fucked up and she has to fix it.
Yeah. The fixing it's fun. It's a little journey and like, here's the thing. No other character gets any development. It is purely Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it's a very basic, like, almost Morrison JLA style story where it's a big epic quest they all have to go on, but it's really about this one specific character overcoming some baggage that's been hanging over their head for a while.
And the rest of them are there to support their friend.
And for jokes.
Yeah.
Jokey jokes. Flash is at his jokiest this week.
He's also at his most like indignant, rightful rage, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when like Superman is the voice of reason and like he's the goodness and optimism, and the Flash is like, "Hey yo, fuck this shit. This shit bad.
Yeah.
Fuck it. No."
But also I want to hit that. Because he's constantly horny for the Amazons in this.
Oh,
And
oh. Here's the
it's
thing.
hilarious and something only made pre-2010s can be.
Here's the thing. I can like it never crosses a line. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it never crosses a line of like he's trying to force himself or anything. It is purely it's a Johnny Bravo.
Yeah. And it's especially well done because everybody around him is constantly like, dude, you're being a tool. Knock it off.
Yeah, and like yeah, yeah.
It's
Um,
pretty good.
pretty good episode.
But the script does use other characters to its advantage very well. Like you said, Flash has that great moment at the end where he's just pissed off about the way things have turned out and is like, this isn't fair. But also, Batman is used very well as a detective here. He comes in, he does some investigative stuff, reports back to the others, and then he's basically just there as another member of the team for the rest of the episode. He doesn't like take over and become Mr. Let's solve this mystery.
I also like the fact that they use Superman as the mirror for Wonder Woman. When normally
Hmm.
in the stories, Wonder Woman is kind of like put as a mirror to Superman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, can we talk about how fucking great that opening was, by the way?
Oh
Because
yeah.
like, I haven't seen a lot of these early episodes in a long time, so I wasn't exactly sure what was going to happen in this episode going back into it. So when it starts off and they're dealing with a hurricane, I was like, oh man, is this just going to be like fucking 40 minutes of superheroes saving people from a natural disaster? That'd be awesome. But no, it's just a little bit of that, and then we get this nice little character moment between them right after I think they get as close as they ever do to establishing Cassie Sandsmark exists in the DCAU.
Hmm.
Because that little girl she saved was named Cassie, and like they focused on her a little too much to the point of where I'm like, okay, that's clearly supposed to be Cassie Sandsmark, and you're never gonna actually do that version of Wonder Girl. Okay.
It's fair, but it's also like, hey, might as well just like we need a name for this little girl. Why don't we use a name associated with Wonder Woman just as like a little Easter egg?
Mm-hmm. Uh, and that scene is also just really good for how it sets up like Wonder Woman's want to return home and how much she misses her family in the Amazons. And this whole tale ends up very much being like a you can never go back kind of thing. Which is very interesting to see. It kind of sets this version of Wonder Woman apart from a lot of them because usually Wonder Woman kind of goes back and forth between Man's World and Paradise Island willy nilly. But in this episode and one like towards the end of Unlimited are like the only times we see Paradise Island in this universe, which I always found super interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. I think it's also just partially of like I think it's Bruce Timm and Paul Dini's inclination to play with the more Kirby-esque side of the DC continuity.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, there's a lot of Wonder Woman shit. And she's a great character. But we don't want to deal with all the bullshit. We just want Ares, and he's cool.
We don't want to deal with the entire Greek pantheon. We don't have time for that. We're not looking to make 8 fucking Wonder Woman movies.
We just want Wonder Woman to be cool, and we want to tell a story about her.
Mm-hmm. Though you know when we get the rebooted James Gunn Wonder Woman, she's just gonna be like a female version of Thor, and I'm here for that.
Here's the thing. I don't want her to be like James Gunn, Taika Waititi era Thor.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying like straight up goofy like that. I'm just saying in the way she's presented as like this is another more mystical world that we have access to
Oh
now
yeah.
through this character.
Yeah, no, see here's the thing. To me, Wonder Woman's one of the smarter members of the Justice League.
Hmm. Well, that's the thing about Wonder Woman and why she's technically the best member of the Trinity if you look at it from a more philosophical point of view, Wonder Woman almost never has recurring villains unless they are just straight up Greek gods. Wonder Woman actually rehabilitates a lot of her more mainstream villains. Like, of course, because of the way comics work, inevitably they'll go bad again at some point. But she almost always tries to get them into a better position in life and help them beyond just punching them and stopping their evil plan. And that's because she comes from a culture that's much more about empathizing and standing in a much more kind way.
And here's the thing,
Even though they are a warrior culture.
I don't think Superman or Batman would disagree with you, and I think they try to rehabilitate just as much. It's just Batman has to deal with people like the Joker, and Superman just deals with fucking wackadoo idiots. Like, Superman has to deal with Toyman. Okay, how do you rehabilitate Toyman?
Well, you put him on r/action figures for free hours.
How do you rehabilitate Mr. Mixaplexic?
Oh, no, you can't fix that. That's like trying to fix Q.
Yeah. It's like trying to fix the Impossible Man, or telling Batmite to shut up.
But that is genuinely like one of the big things with Wonder Woman is just she was always engineered to be a strong but much kinder superhero in comparison to everyone else from the very start, with the things like the lasso of truth and the whole bondage metaphor and whatnot that's just indicated in her character.
Well, yeah, especially considering her creator.
Which also reminds me, another interesting thing about this Wonder Woman, you may not have noticed it, but she does not have the lasso of truth yet. She will not get the lasso of truth in actuality until like that other Paradise Island episode I talked about. She has the lasso, but it doesn't have the tell the truth powers yet.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's just a weird quirk where you can tell like they're trying to pull the real powerhouses back a bit to make the team feel more balanced.
I don't mind that, but also it's just like real fun for like everybody's dealing with one thing and Superman goes like, "Oh, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go deal with the fucking asteroids." I don't know. Just this thing it's talking about like just like how powerful the DC characters are. And I just remember seeing like recently a comment saying, if you say the phrase, if you believe that Marvel's the more grounded between Marvel and DC, and that they aren't comparable, like they're exactly the same. They're exactly the same level of weirdness, and I'm just sitting here going like, no, they're not, because because Superman can go punch God. And someone was like, "Oh yeah, but Marvel has Thor." Marvel's Thor can't hold a candle to Wonder Woman, and Thor would tell you that.
Yeah,
like I don't know. You know what the fun thing would be? Superman would actually be stronger in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before, haven't we, with friggin' JLA Avengers?
Because in the Marvel universe, there is a tangible fact that willpower, like the universe goes like, "Yo, you got a lot of willpower. You're fucking cool. Here you go, power." And Superman is like one of the most like, I'm gonna fucking save the day. So the universe would just be like, "Fuck yeah, you're gonna save the day. Here you go, save it."
All right. Well, getting back to this episode, it is interesting to kind of see the grander scale that the DC characters tend to operate on, especially with this episode where we're dealing with characters like literal Aries showing up.
How do you like DC's Ares? How do you feel about him?
I've never really particularly cared for him. in Marvel or DC.
Yeah.
Not in like I dislike him way, just in like he's never left a huge impression on me. Up until very recently, we'll be talking about the way Marvel's been using him later
Oh
tonight.
yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
like
That was some great serendipity.
as a kid, I only really knew Ares as just big, scary Wonder Woman villain guy who shows up every once in a while. I didn't even really have the Greek god context for him until much later in life. And seeing him here, he does kind of just have this MacGuffin, we need a big thing everybody can punch at the end of the episode feel to him. But I'm glad that they built in that backstory with Hippolyta, which I'm not even sure if that's in the comics at all. But it feels very natural here.
We have two different Hell Nightmares.
We sure do. What the hell is going on there?
I have no idea. Either Hell has two accounts, or something's going funny.
I think Hell has two accounts, or we have two people with with the same username somehow.
That'd be weird. Either way, Aries was fun in this.
Yeah, he was.
He's just a big cackling mustache twirling bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And for what this episode needed, that's exactly what you got two accounts. You got two accounts.
I've got two accounts.
They're in my pants.
Oh no. But yeah. Ares was good. Felix Faust was a little lame as just a generic underling guy, but like he's literally just there to serve that role in the story. It kind of could have been anybody, but Felix Faust is a Wonder Woman character, I think.
And so watch out. Oh. Felix Faust is a funny name. It's also like he's a character that I think no one gives a shit about, so it's like it's fine to kill him.
Yeah. It's also no more of a funny name than Peter Parker.
It's more of a funny name like Rick Rip.
Yeah.
I'm still fucking. It's. We'll talk about Dark Web later.
We sure will. We're trying to stay on topic and failing miserably.
Because, like, there's a lot of good things to talk about in this episode, but they're good small details.
It's a very simple episode, if we're being completely honest. It almost didn't need to be two parts.
But, like, the fact that it is two parts lets the moments of characterization breathe. Like, it's not recontextualizing anything. It's just purely, like, we haven't seen Martian Manhunter and The Flash hang out. Let's put them together.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, Martian Manhunter has probably one of the funniest moments in the whole episode when the fucking Skelebros are trying to fight him, and he just goes intangible and lets them all kill each other.
It's a lot of good, fun elements. Oh, man, the Superman Wonder Woman fight, which was just like, it's classic comic books where they see each other as monsters, and I love how Superman goes like, oh shit, it's Wonder Woman, and just lets her beat on him. He's like, she doesn't know, it's fine.
I could take it.
And I love that. And I love how as soon as the illusion's broken, she's like, oh my god, Superman, I'm so sorry. It's like, it's not, you genuinely...
And he's literally like, I did try to tell you.
It's nice to see them genuinely care about each other. Like,
like we're deep enough into the show now that they can start feeling like genuine friends.
Yeah. And it definitely feels much more like brother-sister between them than anything.
Which is how Superman and Wonder Woman should always be written.
The only time they should be a romantic couple is like that widowed old people, we just want someone to keep ourselves company in the last days of our lives kind of couple.
Yeah. And Dark Knight Strikes Again doesn't count for that.
No.
I'm sorry.
Kingdom Come does. Kingdom Come does.
Yeah, Kingdom Come does it well from what I've heard and the panels I've seen.
But like that's how Wonder Woman and Superman would ever get together. It's he lives a long, nice life with Lois. She dies of natural causes, and he's like, "I'm lonely. Do you just want to hang out?" Yeah, and then they fall in love. God damn it! No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Now, that's retconned.
That's not real. That's an untruth. It's a falsehood, even.
Hey, I have a question
Hey,
for you. Do we have anything
I,
else we want to say about this episode?
it's really solid. I like what little interaction we get between Diana and Hippolyta. It feels very true to their characterization in the comics. Um, and I'm very much looking forward to next week when we're going to be talking about the worst episode in the series, according to most people.
Ooh. And we
Yeah.
already went through your worst episode.
No, it was just an episode I really didn't like. I'm going to tell you what. I've heard such like stink about this episode that we're going to watch next week for so long that I've never actually watched it before.
Ooh. Ooh.
Mhm.
I say it's just a really good, solid little episode. Good characterization. Solid.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Hey.
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 I want to make sure I got all the links. Yeah, I did all the links. It's time for news. Hey, guess what? Jeremy Renner gives us a recovery update.
Yeah, a little Instagram post he did recently where he was kind of talking about just like it has been very hard these last few days, but he's seen and loved all the messages that people have been sending him, and it's going to take some time for all like 40 plus bones in his body that were broken to mend,
Mm-hmm.
but he's going to get back at it as soon as he can,
Oh
which
yeah,
is just crazy that like he broke 40 plus bones. I can't imagine that kind of
that's at
pain.
least a third of his bones.
Yeah. Like we talk about wrestlers getting fucked up and having long roads to recovery sometimes. Oh, I genuinely can't even begin to picture when he's going to be able to start working again.
I mean,
Other
Brendan
than like
Fra-
Skype call cameos.
I mean, Brendan Fraser only just recently recovered from all the injuries he took from doing all the Mummy movies.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like, here's the thing: acting seems like a big cushy job. I have seen actors, I've seen the work they put into, like even just like local play actors, because that's what I know. The work they put into it, the effort, the time, the energy, the emotional energy. It's not a cushy job. It's
Yeah.
it's there's a lot of benefits. You get paid if you're a big star, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Everything is a lot of work, no matter how